team and a lot of friends and family have gathered around the stage. Again, Penn State advances to the Capital One Orange Bowl, and they will meet the winner of tomorrow night's game, the last game of the triple-header tomorrow at the Allstate Sugar Bowl between Notre Dame.
All right, we are back. Also, we are right now, we're still awaiting winner to find out which team will face against us at the Capital One Orange Bowl.
And then the nightcap to determine the final spot in the college football playoff.
There's one spot left, so the winner of tomorrow's Allstate Sugar Bowl game will take on Penn State at the Capital One Orange Bowl.
So the Boise State Broncos kept this game close for a long time, but eventually the strength of Penn State pulls away when they win it 31-14. It looks like we are just about set to hand out the trophy. We're going to join the public address now. And our PA announcer is Jeff Monk.
We lost.
Fans, please direct your attention down to the field as Chris Button begins tonight's post-game ceremony with the presentation of awards for the 2024 CFP quarterfinal at the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. I want to first thank the fans for what an incredible atmosphere we had tonight. Thank you to the teams and the players for an incredible game as well. I want to thank Verbo for their continued support of the college football playoff. I want to introduce a couple people, Executive Director and CEO Eric Moses, and Board Chair Judy Bernis, and representing Verbo as General Manager Larry Plosky. Judy, do me the honors of our first award.
On behalf of the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, congratulations to both teams on an incredible effort tonight and for qualifying for the first ever CFP quarterfinal. It is our honor and privilege to present the Verbo Fiesta Bowl Championship Trophy to Coach James Franklin and the Nittany Lion family.
Coach, I'm going to bring you in here. I want to start first defensively. The message was don't get bored with the details in terms of having to limit Ashton Jeanty. What are you most proud of on the defensive effort?
Yeah, we just played lights out. We talked all week long. So much respect for that young man in this game. We had to get tackles for loss. We had to be disruptive. We had to wrap. We had to gang tackle. And we did a tremendous job against one of the best running backs in the history of college football.
We talked about this being the most games that Penn State has ever played in a season. Well, you got one more as the confetti falls. What has this team, this journey meant right now?
Well, I remember back in training camp talking to these guys. I want moments like this for them. This is what it's all about. It's about the players. They've earned this. This is a mature football team that's handled things the right way all year long. So I'm just happy for our guys.
The journey continues, and Judy has one more award to hand out.
Yeah. Coach Franklin, we'd love to present you with the game ball as you continue on your path to the CFP championship.
Yes, the 2024 Verbo Fiesta Bowl Offensive Player of the Game is Tyler Warren.
There he is, Tyler. Congratulations. It felt like every time this game got close, there you were in the back of the end zone making an incredible grab. What did it take in terms of composure on this side for the offense to be able to get it done?
Yeah, I think it came down to us sticking together as an offense, and it's been our deal all year, sticking to each other and trusting our process. And there was no panic or urgency within us. We were just playing our game, and it worked out.
As a senior, what's it mean to stand up here and know that this journey continues at least one more game?
Yeah, to be able to play with these guys for one more week and have one more game with them means the world. And, win for Coach Franklin on a stage like this means a lot to us. So it was awesome. I'm glad I got another week with these guys.
Appreciate it. Congratulations. Now for our defensive player of the game.
And the 2024 Verbo Fiesta Bowl Defensive Player of the Game is Zachy Wheatley.
Genty, and you did it. How?
We just played team football. We trusted each other, and then we had to do. We knew all 11 had to run to the ball, and we did that.
What does it mean? You got one more game and one more win to be able to play for a national championship.
We just go by team rules, go 1-0 each week, do what we gotta do, trust each other, and then keep going.
Congratulations. Thank you to Verbo and the sponsors, the City of Glendale, and our outstanding fans and players here tonight. I want to thank the university for supporting the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Thank you for joining us, and have a Happy New Year, everybody.
All right.
It's certainly going to be a happy new year for James Franklin and the Penn State Nittany Lions because, Lewis, the best part of this college football playoff, the new format, their season continues, and it will continue down in South Florida.
Yeah, one more game, right? One more game. That's all you can ask for, at the very least.
So as you know, Penn State Nittany Lions are now moving on to the Capital One Orange Bowl, but they will still await the winner of tomorrow's night game will face against Penn State at the Capital One Orange Bowl. Will be in Miami Gardens, Florida, like in South Florida.
Between two blue bloods, regardless of whoever comes out of the Notre Dame Georgia
The winner out of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl will go on to Goodyear Cotton Bowl, and that goes for the Rose Bowl. Whichever team wins out of that, the Rose Bowl will head on for the Goodyear Cotton Bowl.
Absolutely right. No question. This playoff, and the fact that these teams get to settle this on the field. Well, Penn State, their season continues.
And our season is continues.
Thanks so much for watching. So long from Glendale.
And we'll say so long from Glendale, Arizona.
All right, Bob, thanks so much. What a performance by Penn State out there in the desert to kickstart the Elite Eight of the college football playoff. She's Briscoe. I'm Eves. Happy New Year. The Ram Trucks postgame continues.
We'll get you back out to Glendale in a few minutes, but first, how Penn State got their 13th win of the season. Not for nothing, this is the Ram Trucks postgame show. Penn State, the 6th seed, facing the 3 seed in Boise State, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, first of the college football quarterfinal games. In the third, Penn State 3rd and 11. They're up, but only 3 Drew Aller passes. Tyler Warren, who's coming up in minutes, that is a 13-yard score and Warren's second touchdown of the game. That made it 24-14. Boise State gets the ball back. Maddox Madsen finds Prince Strawn. That is a score until you see the flag come in. It's a personal foul on Boise State. You're like, what happened? Hal Schmidt called for hands to the face. It wipes away the score, and then it goes from bad to worse. 2 plays later, 3rd and 25. Madsen's pass picked off. Zachy Wheatley. Boise State had a touchdown, and then it was taken away by a turnover. All of the momentum gone. Penn State still with that 24-14 lead. 4th quarter, Penn State 2nd down from their own 42. Nicholas Singleton is here to be your dagger. And he just runs away from the defense. 58 yards for the score. That gives Penn State the 31-14 lead. Now, Boise State had chances, and when they go back and look at this game, they're going to think about the turnovers, they're going to think about the penalties, and they're going to think about the missed opportunities. Madsen's pass kicked off by Zion Tracy. That seals it. Penn State wins this one, 31-14. They are moving on to the college football playoff semifinals. We just heard Bob, we just heard Lewis on the call of that game. Penn State, they did everything they needed to do in this one by shutting down Ashton Genty. What is your biggest takeaway with how Penn State's defense performed?
Yeah, I think that. Isn't it, Lewis? You said all week this was going to be a line of scrimmage game. And Maddox Madsen and their offense did the best they could to throw them back in the game and try to use the pass attack to keep the game competitive.
Yeah.
But if Ashton Genty's going to be tackled the way he was tackled tonight by Penn State, it's impossible to picture a way that Boise State could win.
Yeah, Penn State knew that their odds of winning this football game went up dramatically if they could limit the effectiveness of Ashton Genty, and everything was geared towards that. Absolutely everything, both in terms of scheme and deployment.
30.
And then you saw the kind of ferocity and tempo their guys played with. There was always 5, 6, 7 guys at the ball.
If one guy missed, there was 2-3 more.
We
Those
got
guys missed, there was
32
2-3
minutes
more.
before.
Ashton Gentry's looking up going, man, I mean, what do they have, 15 guys out here? They wanted to put the ball in the hands of Maddox Madsen, make him have to win the game. And he tried, but as you see the limitations, right, in terms of the decision-making, maybe some of the play
We got
calling,
32
they
minutes
got down
before they
inside
do
the red
New
zone.
Year's Day
He's just not really
tomorrow.
equipped to deal with this kind
When we
of
hit New Year's
defense
Day tomorrow,
over the course of 3.5, 4 hours. It's just
I
not- wasn't
am
gonna work
sure
out.
there's a
Madsen
lot
needed
of
to make
things
his
that we
mark.
would like to talk about
He
what
just never
happened
was
this
able to
year.
keep going.
Everything that we did this year. And all this must be finished. And even I do remember my best part of this year is I have went to a formal event at Temple University back on April 28th.
We just didn't capitalize when we needed to.
After earlier that I had went to the King of Prussia Mall.
Cole said it. They had their chances.
No doubt.
You
Secondly,
coming down the stretch of the fourth
I
quarter.
have
Yeah,
went
they
to
were
the
there. This score, this 31-14 score is not indicative, and you said this before we went off the air, of really how this game really unfolded. Because there was ebbs and flows to it, right? It looked like in the beginning Penn State was going to run them out of the stadium. The running game, outside zone game was just gashing them. And then Boise kind of calms down. They get a turnover. Drew Aller messes up a mesh point in terms of a zone read concept. Boise moves down the field. Boise moved down the field methodically a bunch of different times. I mean, they had long, grinding, sustained drives. But just like in the NFL and just like every level of football, you get down inside the 20, you got to score, and you got to score 6. You can't score 3. And they couldn't score
also, my
anything.
favorite part
They
is
couldn't
that
get
I
6.
went to
They
the
kicked
water
field goals, they
park,
missed
then
them.
I went to
Penn
down
State's gonna make it
Georgia.
happen. And the one thing, look, we said something had to give, right? It's either
And
Penn State was gonna crack and let
secondly,
Ashton get loose,
I went used to
Penn State
no,
was gonna
actually I
wear
used to go
Boise
down
with their
to
two-headed monster. And you saw Singleton
Chicken to
and Allen,
Pete's,
they're a load. And it just played out.
and
the
I
way that
also
they
I
wanted
went down to
There
the
was
family
absolutely
reunion
relentless. There was a feel
afterwards.
to this game early on too, where I think
And
mentioned off the
also-
line that it feels like
also-
everyone was gonna fight in this game. That was
also-
you said ferocity. It was just
I've
constant
also
from both
I used to
sides
go
of
to
ball.
the
I don't want to take anything away by not getting to
the
Penn State the second
homecoming
year, but in
game
this new era
this
of
past
with
October,
Penn State,
last
since
month
we're
and a
running out of
half
time,
ago.
with Penn State looking ahead, they get to play again. They're either going to match up against Georgia or Notre Dame. What's your biggest takeaway in terms of who they will see next in that January 9th game?
Well, they're going to see a team that kind of likes to play the way they do. Teams that like to dominate up front with big, physical front seven defenders on defense, like to control the line of scrimmage on offense, and they like to play great, this physical brand of football. That's exactly what Georgia and Notre Dame are. That's exactly what Penn State is. This is very similar to the NFL. At this time of year, those are the teams that rise to the top. That's who's rising to the top right now. The biggest, most dominant teams that can impose their will, that will be a clash of the Titans.
And for Penn State, I don't think it really matters who that they have their identity.
Yeah.
They're going to play their brand of football, and they're going to find out whether or not it's good enough.
Like you guys said, book those flights to Florida. Guys, thank you so much. It was a fun game to watch. We appreciate it, and Happy New Year to both of you.
Thanks.
You bet.
Of course, a big performance by that Penn State offense, and usually that means Tyler Warren was involved. He had 6 catches tonight, and that moved him past Aaron Robinson II for the most receptions in a season in Penn State history. Also had 2 receiving touchdowns in a game for the first time this season, and just the second time in his career. He was the offensive player of the game, and Tyler Warren joins us now here on SportsCenter. First of all, Tyler, congratulations on the win. This is 2 impressive.
Now let's listen
playoff
to
wins for
one
you
of our
guys. In
favorite
both of these
players
games, you jumped out early on your
on our
opponents
Penn
to
State
establish
Union
the
Lions
momentum.
football team.
Your touchdown set the tone here tonight. How are you guys able to do that in such impressive fashion in 2 straight games?
Yeah, I think it's just, we've been kind of building as we've gotten into the late parts of the season. So building on what we've been doing in the games before has been great. And then we're really just trusting each other, doing what we do best. And O-line blocking for Drew giving me a chance with the ball. And then I've really just Nick's run at the end of the game is kind of what sealed it for me. It was just awesome to hear, or awesome to see. So that was awesome.
You put up 31, and you talked about your exploits in this game.
Let's listen
But
to
also a
Tyler
very balanced
Warren,
attack. You had good rushing, from
one
your
of our
back.
favorite
Offensive line
players
played
on our
so well.
football team.
Where does that balance come from on that offensive side of the ball?
I think it starts with our run game. When we can get
That's
that going, it's going to
jersey
open up
number
everything. And I think
44.
our O-line and tight ends and running backs have been doing a really great job of establishing run games in our past few games. So a bit on that would be huge, but then we can do that, and it opens up everything else for our offense.
The way the Big Ten has played out the last couple of years, it feels like the last 4 or 5 games for every team that's good feels like a playoff game to try to get into the Big Ten championship, of course, trying to get to the college football playoff. But now you've played 2 games in the first bracket that's ever had 12 teams in it, Tyler. Have you learned anything in these first two games that maybe you didn't realize what this tournament was going to feel like?
I mean, no, not really. We played two great teams. It's been, with great players on. I got a lot of respect for Boise State. They had some really great players on defense. So it's been what we expected. Great teams playing each other, and it was awesome to come out here with the win today.
All right, last question. We're gonna get you out of here. I know some other people want to talk to you, but you also got some celebration to do. It is New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year. How do you plan to celebrate, and how much football will you watch tomorrow?
I will be celebrating with my teammates tonight, and then I'll figure out the football tomorrow when we get there.
Fair enough. Take it 1 hour at a time, Tyler. Again, appreciate
Yes,
the
sir.
time. Congratulations, and best of luck.
And up next, we're going to hear from our head coach, James Franklin.
He was trying to say it depends on how much my head hurts.
I was going to say that. At least that's what I would have said.
It is much more than just survive and advance. This was dominate and advance. We have much more from the Fiesta Bowl as we continue on in SportsCenter. Plus, if you've been with us all week, we've been counting down the top plays of the year. At this point, we've taken you from 10 to 4, but what about those final 3? They're coming your way in the final show of SportsCenter in 2024.
The Ram Trucks postgame is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve.